Debt isn't just numbers on a statement, it's a weight on your heart. Have you ever stayed up night, staring at the ceiling, wondering if you'll ever get ahead? I've been there. Millions of us have. But here's the good news. God's plan for you is freedom, not financial chains. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how to break free from debt God's way. Debt isn't just a financial problem, it is a spiritual stronghold. It creeps into your mind, breeding fear, shame, and anxiety, pulling you away from God's peace. I remember many single moms I have met over the years, like myself when I was a single mom, who cried over every night, overwhelmed by credit card bills and utility bills, feeling like she's never had enough. That's what debt does. It whispers a false identity of lack. It is like a heavy backpack slowing you down, delaying the dreams God placed in your heart. But listen, Deuteronomy 28:12 says, "You shall lend to many nations, but borrow from none." God's plan is abundance, not bondage. God's heart for you is freedom, not slavery to lenders. Debt rewires how you see yourself, whispering a false identity of lack. He doesn't want you chained to lenders. He wants you to be free to build a legacy. You are not defined by what you owe. You are defined by who you are in Christ, a child of God called to freedom. Let's get real about how debt keeps you stuck. Imagine you owe $10,000 on a credit card at 22% interest. If you only paid the minimum, it could take 30 years to pay off, and you'll end up paying $22,000 in interest alone. That's not just money, it's your future. Think about it. That's money you could use for your kids' education, a mission trip, or building a legacy. Interest isn't neutral. It's either working for you or it is against you. Proverbs 13:22 says, "A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children." Debt steals that inheritance, but God's plan is for your resources to multiply. Let me show you how this works. Compound interest is like a snowball. Rolling down the hill, it grows fast and larger. When you're in debt, it's crushing you. But once you are free, that chain force can build wealth for God's purposes. I met a couple, John and Lisa, who paid $15,000 in interest before realizing they were treating water. When they switched to paying extra on their debt, they saved years and thousands of dollars. That's the power of understanding interest and choosing God's way of stewardship over the world's way of borrowing. Cultures got a plan for your money. Borrow, spend, impress, repeat. It's a trap that keeps you chained, always chasing the next paycheck. But God's way, God's kingdom, has a better way. Steward, save, multiply, and give. Picture two roads, one a dark, endless loop of stress and minimum payments, like a hamster wheel. The other's a bright path where every step builds freedom and legacy. Matthew 6:24 says, "You cannot serve both God and money." Culture's bondage cycle serves money, keeping you stuck. God's freedom cycle serves Him, turning your resources into blessings. You get to choose which road to walk. Would you keep running on the world's wheel or step onto God's path? Every wealth plan or budget you make, every debt you pay is a step towards the legacy God's calling you to build. A life of simplicity, freedom, and impact. Step 1. Don't hide from your debt. It is time to face it with courage. Grab a notebook and write down every debt, balance, interest rate, and the minimum payment. I know it's scary, but Joshua 1:9 says, "Be strong and courageous. God's with you in this fight." When I listed my debts, it felt like shining a light in a dark room. And suddenly, the problem wasn't a mystery. It was a battle I could win. Your list is your battle plan, the first step to freedom. Step 2, pick a strategy like Snowball or Avalanche, okay? 2 proven strategies work. First, the Snowball method, which is to pay off your smaller debts first for quick wins. It's like rolling a snowball. It starts small but builds momentum. Or try the Avalanche method. Tackle high interest debt first to save money long term. A friend, Mark, used Snowball to pay off $8,000 in 2 years. Each win gave him hope. Both methods honor God's stewardship. Pick what keeps you moving forward and then do it. Step 3, make a call. This week, call one creditor and say, "Can I qualify for a lower interest rate?" Many will negotiate, especially if you've been consistent. One call could save you hundreds, like it did for Sarah, who cut her rate from 22% to 15%. It's a small step with a big impact. You are not your debt. You are a child of God called to freedom. So John 8:36 says, "If the Son sets you free, you are truly free." Every payment you make is a prophetic act declaring, "I am stepping into God's plan for my life and for my family's life." God's calling you to financial freedom, and He's with you every step of the way. Today, you've learned how debt weighs you down, how interest steals your future, and 3 simple steps to break free. Don't aim for perfect, just commit to progress. Next week, join us for Start Saving Today, even if you are broke. Like, subscribe, and comment below. What's your first step out of debt? We are cheering you on as you step into God's plan for freedom and for legacy. Until then,